A 20-year-old with 3 million followers told me my scuba certification rules were gatekeeping, then nearly died at 80 feet while his own camera streamed the whole thing. 2 weeks later, his father walked into my dive shop, and what he did stunned every one of us. I've been a dive instructor for 16 years. I run a small Gulf Coast shop, open water courses, rec charters, the occasional recovery job for the sheriff. Diving looks peaceful on video. Underwater, though, physics doesn't care about your brand. The rules exist because the ocean audits everyone eventually. Last summer, this kid walks in with an entourage of 2 cameramen. I recognize the energy before the face. Designer everything. Sunglasses indoors. He wanted on our advanced rec charter, an 80-foot dive on an old freighter, that weekend. I asked for his certification card. He laughed and showed me his page instead. 3 million followers. Breath hold videos, cliff jumping, extreme content. He said, and I quote, "Bro, I free dive deeper than your students swim. Certs are gatekeeping." I told him no. Nobody gets on my boat without certification and a checkout dive. That's when he found my boss. I manage the shop, but the owner holds the keys, and threatened to post that we discriminate against creators. The owner, sweating about a review bomb, worked out a compromise I still regret agreeing to. The kid would do the full course, compressed, and if he passed, he could join the charter with me personally as his buddy. He treated the classroom like an inconvenience, interrupting my air management lesson to say he'd seen a better method on YouTube. During confined water training, he skipped his buddy checks twice and rolled his eyes through the emergency ascent drills. The exact drills. Write this down. The exact drills that would come up later. He passed the minimum standards the way a bad driver passes a road test. Technically, charter morning, he showed up late, loud, and visibly run down from a night out with a camera rig on his mask. He announced to his live stream that he was about to embarrass the boomer instructor. His chat cheered. The ocean was not watching his stream. At 80 feet, on the deck of the freighter, everything happened the way ignored lessons always happen. He was burning air twice as fast as anyone, all that flailing for the camera, and never once checked his gauge, because gauge checks weren't content. When I signaled him to check air, he waved me off. 4 minutes later, mid-pose on the bow rail, he sucked a breath that wasn't there. Panic at depth is the most dangerous animal in the ocean. He spat his regulator, clawed toward the surface, a bolt from 80 feet, which can kill you with your own expanding lungs. I caught his fin, pulled him back to me, shoved my backup regulator into his mouth, and pinned his shoulders until his eyes found mine. Then I took this thrashing, sobbing kid up the way the drills he'd mock prescribe. Slow, controlled, safety stop, my hand gripping his harness the entire time, his camera recording every second. He cried on the boat deck. His entourage filmed nothing. 2 days later, he posted a 9-minute video titled, "Dive Shop Almost Killed Me," edited to oblivion, claimed our rental gear failed, that I panicked, that small shops cut corners. Our reviews went from 4.9 stars to 2.1 in a week. Charter cancellations wiped out most of our season. 16 years, nearly sunk by a kid with a ring light. Except he'd forgotten one thing, the live stream. The raw feed had gone out in real time to thousands of people, and divers are a community with receipts. Frame-by-frame breakdowns appeared. His ignored gauge, his waved-off air check, my regulator going into his mouth, the textbook ascent. A diver from another charter boat posted surface footage. Then 3 dive operations in 2 other states came forward. He'd pulled the same skip-the-training pressure on all of them. They'd all refused. We were the ones who'd bent, and it almost cost us everything. His comment section turned into a tribunal. Sponsors dropped him. He deleted the video, then the account, and then came the part I'll never forget. A silver-haired man in a golf shirt walked into my shop, introduced himself as the kid's father, and asked to speak to the instructor from the video. I braced for lawyers. Instead, his eyes went glassy, and he said, "I watched my son almost die on the internet, and I watched you refuse to let him." He'd made his son watch the raw footage with him twice. Then he booked and paid for private open water certification. The real course, full length, no cameras allowed. The kid finished it last month. Passed, honestly. On his last dive, he did his buddy check without being asked. The ocean audits everyone. Some people just need a second exam.